Hey girls, we're looking to be super prepared for the weekend, so we're going to just provide a little bit of a scouting report on the group Sporting Delaware that played Skyline last week. Whenever we send out these scouting reports, it's really just a guide and looking at like the opponent's general tendencies. Who knows who's going to play on a certain day or who's not going to make a game and what decisions the opponents will make as a staff. But this just gives us a preview of what to expect. Each of these is broken down into a couple different categories in possession and build-ups and transitions and attacks, how they press, how they defend in some cases, certain opportunities for us or areas of the field to attack, and then restarts so that you can take a look at what they look like when they set up on both sides of the ball. Goalkeeper distributions will also be sometimes in build up or sometimes in restarts. So Sporting Delaware, as you know, the 4-4-2, they're pretty direct, pretty fast in terms of how they like to attack. They do leave several places open for us to succeed at attacking. So we'll just get started with their build-up. If we give them a little bit of time, they'll play short and then look to just play pretty predictably in that area. So making sure that we have our numbers, into this area, and you got to let her make this short pass there, and then we want to have more than just these three yellow shirts there. We want to have more numbers just to that side. You see, if you are able to win the ball, the more players we have, maybe we can pass out and allow players to get inside the 18 to attack. Um, Unlike our reviews of matches, I'm going to spend a little bit more time or less time explaining things and more time just letting you see this is the goalkeeper's punt. You can see the distance, and you can see their 4-4-2, two forwards here, four midfielders, four backs, just in terms of their shape. But you can see that even though they are going against four defenders, it's pretty aggressive, it's pretty fast, and they just want to run. Another rollout, and again, I think this is a press where they're able to get on the ball, Skyline, and you're going to see a theme or a pattern of this side, their left side, our right side when we attack, will give us several opportunities to play the ball on the weak side, which you'll see in a couple clips. Good diagonal ball from the goalkeeper here. So in the event that that's an opportunity for us, we want to make sure we're pushing up our numbers until she shows that she can loop the ball to half field on one touch. We want to make sure we have numbers up and not be dropped back so far. You can see where their center backs are. Again, a short one. You can see Skyline has several players. She looks to kick it long. They have numbers here, so that's pretty good. We would want to make sure that we're dealing with their two forwards a little bit better, a little bit tighter in case that does get through. This is just them in possession, and again, you'll see what type of attack they have as soon as they gain possession of the ball. They're looking to play into these forwards here. So you see the two forwards here. So even though Skyline has five players here, there's still areas for these two forwards to run into and for them to be pretty successful. The gate's not closed there. We want to make sure we force this forward to go outside so that it's not too easy. Again, long ball in, the foot race, quick pass, and then looking at the forwards, you can see that she's about to drive the ball. There's nobody in front of her, and they're the two forwards trying to create some danger there. And this quick transition, you can see how they still have pretty organized line, but as soon as there's a little bit of pressure right here, our outside back, we want to make sure we're tucking in to protect the space, so that the two center backs can be a little bit more aggressive in how they defend. Fast attack, looking forward. There's an area there for them to switch the ball. And, this is where in our situation here, Christian's talking about address the ball. So right there, as soon as this player's beat, got to address the ball, but not dive in and allow too much time on the dribble there. And that's one of their center midfielders getting in. So just to show you how they're pressing, one forward goes, the other one takes away the back pass. This player gets here. This one will get here eventually. But this is pretty effective at breaking the press. They just need to be able to get into the opponent's half, into Sporting Delaware's half. For us, we would want to get this ball in here and then turn and switch the point of attack. You can see again what their press looks like with these numbers here. Unless they start to add these players in, we should be able to get out of it and then look to play forward. So again, reminder for our back four, once you see our center midfield, one of our center midfielders with our facing our own goalkeeper, as a right back and a center back, we want to make sure we're tucked in a little bit to not allow too easy of a transition. And the big ball goes, and then we get to it. Again, watching their press again, see the numbers is pretty spread out because of Skyline's big shape. So it gives angles and pockets to be able to play the ball. So again, just be prepared that that's the type of press that you're going to see. They could change it and add one more player, but we've got to be able to get, once we reach that pass there, we've got to be able to break this line right here on a pass into these players so that we nullify those 5 players. And it's got to be good possession so that we don't lose the ball and get transitioned on. Some opportunities right here. So again, as I explained, this side against them, their left side, our right attacking side, should be an area for us to succeed. Just from seeing the patterns of this game here, constantly the ball is getting played in behind. Sorry, let me back up. For us here, and this is not that side, but this is an opportunity because you can see how they're defending everybody in this area here. So for us, we want to be able to switch the point of attack and get it down there or get it onto that side so we can attack. Now you'll see them attack that one channel several times, just playing it through the gate in behind and creating some scoring opportunities. Same thing here. You can see the positional difference here from the left back. They're a little off center, so there's area to play in behind there. The ball in, just an area where we might be able to find some success. That's the outside back that went to challenge, and she left her mark here, so then we can play in behind. And because that outside back came forward, it leaves the space open for us to attack down the sideline. Okay, so restarts. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. What I do want you to pay attention to is when they're hitting restarts, what runs do their players make? How many players do they have set up? Do they kick the ball to the back post? Do they play short? How many players do they keep back? And the other side of it, when you're watching this Sporting Delaware team, they're in black, of course. When you're watching the Sporting Delaware team, how did they set up? So if we're going to use Skyline as an example, do they have 2 on the post? Do they have a zone, or does everybody mark man to man? So that's something you want to look at so that when you're in that situation, it's not going to solve it for you. You still have to do the actions, but at least it gives you an idea of how they're going to play. So again, if I'm looking at this, they put a lot of players inside this area there. Mishit, of course, but we're taking a look at the positioning. So again, a short runner. So do they play short or do they play in? Is this a player free on the back post? Those are the types of things we want to look at. And clearly they're going to be serving the ball inside the 18. So as a reference point. So hopefully this is helpful. If there's any feedback, let Bobby, Christian, and I know, and we'll see you this weekend.